Hey out there everybody, it's Dave from Davestation VR, and today I'm talking about a game called Bow to Blood, coming out next Tuesday for PSVR.
What's up? I'm on engines.
So when I first saw this game, from what I could see in the trailers, it looked to me kind of just like an airship combat game, you know, dogfighting with these kind of big sci-fi pirate ships, and it's actually way deeper than that, and it's a pretty cool concept. It's structured sort of like a season of Survivor, essentially, like a reality show, where as you go through, you know, based on your performance, you move up and down the rankings. If you're in the bottom two, people vote on whether or not you get to stay. And as you're going through, you know, outside of the combat, you're forming alliances, you're making enemies, and it's a pretty deep system. It's pretty interesting, and I got pretty wrapped up in it. So the season that you're playing through is going to be structured as a series of 2-round matches, where the first one is sort of like a standard mission, you know, retrieve a certain item, go through this area, and, you know, fight enemies along the way and collect things for points. You're basically trying to get as many points as you can. The second round is usually going to be something like a boss fight or a race, or they kind of change it up a little bit. And each season is totally different. It's randomly generated, so the scenarios that you get and the you know, the alliances that people suggest to you are going to change each time you play. So on top of the alliances that I mentioned, there's also a thing called sponsorships, where depending on your performance and, you know, your ranking, a company in the game can choose to sponsor you and give you sort of like a weapon upgrade or additional ammo for your special weapons, and that was kind of a cool feature too. Overall, I was surprised how engaging the alliance system was. You know, it's going on in between matches, it's going on during matches, and the things that people suggest to you, sometimes you really have to take a moment and think, like, is this going to benefit me in the long run? Is it better to make an enemy than to give up some of my points to help this person forward in the expectation that they'll help me later? There's a cool metagame to the whole thing. You know, I haven't even talked about the combat yet. I really like the overall concept here. It's really cool. And on top of that, the combat itself is really deep and engaging. You're not just going to be firing missiles and lasers at guys. You have all this stuff to manage. So there's a whole console that's basically Star Trek Bridge Crew, where you can reroute power from shields to engines to special weapons to you know, attack drones. And you're constantly manipulating that based on what the scenario is. You've also got 2 crew members who, at any given time, you can assign to a certain station, and, you know, they'll either provide backup fire, or they'll man the shields, or they'll shoot down, you know, incoming missiles, or sometimes you get damaged and they need to repair a certain station to get it back online. So, you know, on top of the dogfighting aspect, which is pretty cool and well done, there is that whole other layer of management and keeping the ship afloat, and it's really cool. It's a lot to juggle, but it keeps it from ever getting stale. As far as the presentation goes, I really liked the art design here. It's very colorful. It's got that kind of cartoonish look that works really well on PSVR, and I didn't have any performance issues at all. It ran smooth, and it was just delightful. One feature I'm particularly excited about is this companion app that goes along with the game, where people can join in and vote while you're playing to help you or hurt you, you know, as you progress through the season. And up to 50 people from all over the internet can join in and do this at the same time. So that should be really fun for streaming. I'm really looking forward to doing that with you guys. So I'll set up a stream probably this weekend, and just install the app, search Bow to Blood. I think it's only on Android and PC, but I would love for you guys to join me. I really want to check that out. It sounds like a lot of fun. Overall, Bow to Blood delivered a lot more than I was expecting, and I can see it being something that people get really invested in. There's a lot to learn here. There's a lot of mechanics, and I would assume there's a pretty high skill ceiling for this. And the fact that you can go back through and each season is totally different, you know, alliances will form completely differently each time. The missions you're getting are not the same. It seems like something you could just spend a lot of time with, and as far as I can tell, it would take a while for this to get stale. So this is a review in progress because I've only had a few hours with it, but in my time, I have really, really enjoyed it. So when this comes out on Tuesday, I would say definitely give this one a look. I know there's a lot coming out this week, but don't overlook Bout of Blood. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this review, in progress, I guess, give me a like or a comment or a subscribe. You know the whole YouTube thing. Thank you so much, and I will catch you later.